I gotta give it up. That part of me that feels like they do everything. That part of me that feels like I do everything for everything. And that I would like to be included in that abundance that I feel from the universe and our planet, our solar system, our galaxies. Yeah, I guess I'm just looking for my next evolution. So moving from this person that feels not quite loved as much as they love. Like there's no, it's not as tangible. I want it to be even closer to me. So I feel it in nature. I'm thankful. Like I feel it in nature, the water, the earth, the sky, the animals. I am starting to love people again. with more purity, with the same purity that I did before I found out that all the spiritual warfare that I didn't realize was so prevalent in my life. I thought I was just loving everybody and doing good and, you know, fighting the good fight. And I know the people that I was around wanted me to be more stable and wanted me to have a career perhaps, or just, you know, settle down, make roots, you know. I was so smart, you know, why was I all over the place? And I didn't get to say that, you know, it's because that's what God wanted for me. That's what I agreed to. That's what I, you know, in my early 20s when I gave myself to God completely, there was a promise of all my dreams coming true and all of my heart's desires and heart's wishes. And I was really overwhelmed, and I was like, what can I do for you? And I heard a voice that says, walk the earth spreading love and light. And so that became a pathway. I was born again through Yeshua, and, you know, the Christ consciousness, which is a very specific octave of love and service. And it is a privilege to have gone through that path and get to express from what I've learned throughout my journeys, throughout my life, throughout my lifetimes, throughout all the stories that people have told me about their lives, because here all we do is tell each other stories. Some of us believe in our stories more, are more powerful, and some, you know, like some of us step in and kind of lead the culture. Like I'm in America, I'm in California, Northern California, so I just thought about United States of America, like movies and television shows, and how, you know, how they shape popular culture. And at the same time, there's so many of us who are not really a part of popular culture in that sense, in the sense that there's a periphery knowledge of certain things, but not a direct eyeballs on, so that information or that energy is not as impactful. It's removed. And I'm kind of this is just the way I think, and it's the way that I talk. So the other day I was watching something about how human beings get information, and, you know, it's through 7 places: our 2 eyes, our 2 ears, our nose, and our mouth. 4, 6, I think. Yeah, 2, 4, 5, 6. Was that 6? For some reason, I think I added the throat or the third eye or the heart to that. So let's say 6. 2 eyes, 2 ears, that's 4. A nose is 5, and a mouth is 6. And how we get information. Oh, I think skin. I think all of our skin. And so, God, where was I going with that? So that's how we can take information. I don't know where I was going with that. So let me see if I have anything else to add. I'm grateful to be by the water. I'm grateful to find little spots and areas where I can sit and look. Listen to the birds, which are my family. Well, I kind of, I feel like all my family's there. I feel like the earth is seeded with creation. That's why I feel like it's so beautiful. Like there's so much life here. There's so much life. It's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. And beautiful. And I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be able to express myself unashamedly. Because I really, I'm a painter. I've been painting for the last 4 years in the physical since August 2nd, 2019. And even through this, COVID journey, this homeless journey, I've managed to make over 900 pieces. I feel like it's more than that. I stopped counting last year because it was intimidating. I stopped counting around 800, and that was a little over 3 years. And I just sold one recently. I don't sell as much as I will, I think. But the last 2023 has been such a relief in the way that I've been interacting with the paint and the work. It's been more therapeutic for me. It's been more for me. Before, when I started out, it was the gathering of all my loves of all my lifetimes, and just all the relationships that I had, all the love that I shared with people, all the things that I learned, and just it helped me be the person that I had always wanted to be. And that's how I felt in 2019. I was just kind of clearing things up. I have writings on my blog, addingevan.wordpress.com, that it's a series called Love Be Like, and it was basically distilling everything that I've thought about love, or wanted about love, or felt, or experienced. And then the paintings became everything that I'd seen, and everything that I am, and everything that it's a gift. It's a gift from God and the universe. Says, good job. Sit down, rest, watch, listen. We love you. And that's the love and the energy that I've put into the work, because the work is my life and my love, and it's ever growing and ever increasing and eternal, because my work is in relationships to everything I'm in contact with. Every person, everything that I see, everything that I hear, and how I reflect that. How I internalize my external environment, and now I'm at a point where I can internalize it. Well, I don't internalize it anymore, but there's a relationship and an unconditional love between me and my environment. I genuinely wish the best for everybody that I encounter. It's always been that way. I was talking to somebody here at the shelter the other day, And we were talking about when we were kids, how there was just this purity of so much love to give and wanting to share that love. And just bursting with it. And growing up and, having some people be jealous of that, which was really unfair because it made me hide, or it made me feel like something was wrong with me, something was wrong with my love, because I was rejected. I'm so identified with it that when I felt rejected, I felt my love was rejected, because that's what I am and who I am and what I'm made of and what I'm made from. And also what I've studied and what I'm most interested in and what I create from, what is always, anyways. Not serious. Sometimes when I go off on a different thought, because my brain is faster than my what comes out of my mouth, and so by the time it comes out of my mouth, it's already condensed and cut up and revised, and it's so it doesn't come out. Sometimes I'm concerned that it doesn't come out cohesively, and then I think, well, this is my language, this is my love and light language, and this is how I communicate, and this is what the accumulation of the knowledge that I've gained about communication, from the people that I've encountered, from the beings that I've encountered, from what I'm taught every day. The shelter has a array of people from different countries and different nationalities, and so it's a lot of different worldviews. There's a lot of energy. One of the best things about being by the river and being by the bike trail, being able to ride my bike, is to be able to release and transmute the energy that I've felt, to be able to distinguish what is mine and what isn't, to be able to it's been easy, actually, but to be able to hold my own and speak up for myself if I need to, and that shit just spreads around. I was like, I've been here about 42 days, and yesterday or the day before, I was talking to two people out on the patio. That's where the bikes are kept, and I usually just grab my bike and go. And then somebody said hi to me, and then I went over and spoke with her. And then another guy came up to us later, and he was like, I've never heard you speak, and I like what you're saying. And I was like, it felt good in the sense, because I've been to myself and I've interacted with people based on, at the beginning, I just was trying to stay to myself and acclimate, maintain my person, so I could come from that perspective, so not get all blendy when I got in, so just really, meditated. I still do every morning, every night. I was meditating. I was, doing my stretches to move the energy so it wasn't getting stuck in my body. And then maybe 2 weeks in, like, people didn't even know my name. The staff kind of was always kind of tripping up. My Leo name is Evan, but I go by Osananda, and it's Osa. Osa means, for me, it means joy. Osananda means joy and bliss, and Osa was just a cuter version of that, I thought. But when I met one of my loves, they told me that Osa's female bear. So I always think about, I was like, I'm gonna have to incorporate into that with what I feel it is. And so I think about what a female bear would do to protect her cubs and anything that's growing, which I'm a growing being. So, and the joy life is a dream come true, and it's at the very beginning. And that's how I feel about 2019. It was the beginning of knowing that I succeeded in what I had wanted to do spiritually in my lifetime. And it's as big as it sounds, and it's bigger than it sounds, and because I don't know the extent, because I had a lot of dreams when I was a kid. So a lot of my healing was and is about inner childhood. So when I'm interacting with people, I'm bringing that inner childhood energy, that a lot of us, to go back to the purity conversation that I was having with a lot of us had that pure love, and the environment got weird. There was abuse, there was, there's all the abuses that you can think of, and that for some of us took us out of was an attack, a direct attack on our creativity, which is it was a direct attack on our lower chakras, our sacral and our root chakra. And so that's what I think I might have been talking about spiritual attacks at the beginning of this. But I didn't know that then. But it was really putting a stamp and a stomper on being able to create and be able to express our sexuality. And for me, my sexuality is intrinsically tied up with my spirituality, because I'm all about creation. I love that I was made. I love that I was made in love, and I love that I've been able to regenerate and recreate and resurrect myself in the love of the beginning of my creation. I'm grateful that I was able to maintain it, and then to travel back to it, and then to have it flow throughout my life. That's how I healed. When I went back to my inner child was there, and we traveled together, and we taught each other, and we healed one another, and we grew into this person that I am, which I feel, and I've said this for years, for over 20 years, I'm 45, that I'm every age I ever was, because I didn't want to lose anything. My life is my wisdom, is my gold, is my passion, is my privilege, is my joy. I'm so grateful that I am made. There's a part of the Bible, it's Psalms, and I feel like it's in the 120s area, 126, 129, but it talks about being wonderfully made in the womb. And so I think about my ancestors. I honor my ancestors every day, because this body that I'm in and the activations that I've had in our DNA have also made me what I am, and have contributed to my perspective on the world, and that's what I'm sharing. The words and the way that I've said these words are from a pure place. This is how I paint. It's purely in the moment. I change direction. I stop the thought. I go off on a curve. It's the way that I see. It's the way that I am. And I think that, sometimes things are more coherent, perhaps. But when I read my work, I don't want to double read it anymore. I want to just read it as I want it to be understandable to me. I want to share this lens of heart space with the world in every way that I can. And part of that is loving my communication style and trying to accept that that it will be understood in the spirit, in the heart energy that is intended, the heart resonance. And that's a prayer that I have, and I believe all prayers are answered. So thanks for listening to that, if you've made it all the way through. Today is Wednesday, June 14th. It is 2023. I am in Northern California, American River area, Sacramento on Earth. It has to be before around 9 a.m. Did I say West Coast, United States of America? It's all of that. So, yeah.